welcome to IT Kanpur also. And I'm Sunil, graduate in civil engineering in 81. Don't mistake me. Yeah, I can call you. In fact, well, I don't want to say something. There is an uncle here. But anyway, so welcome all of you. Huh? Oh. Ladies who are here because they've taken the time to come to. With which, of course, we have a lot of fond association. So, welcome back to the campus. And this is a completely informal meeting. And the idea of this meeting really was to get the heads of the departments as the departments are organized today. I'll introduce the heads who are here. A lot of them have not been able to come or have not come, whatever it is. So I'll request the heads to just briefly say something about the department as to what's going on in the department right now. In fact, there are now. No, see, the reason is that people here may not know what's going on in the different departments, and there is a cross-department interest. The people who graduated in civil engineering are probably very different and so on. So very briefly we do that, and then of course if you want to visit the departments and so on, the heads will have been requested to take care of that part. In fact, I understand chemical engineering has scheduled a meeting with the faculty at 10:45. We have introduced the heads. So we have Professor Venkatesan here, who's the head of the aerospace department. We have Professor Shankar Ramakrishnan, who's the head of the biological sciences and bioengineering, and that's a department which started in 2001. So that's one of the more recent departments. We have with us Professor V. Shankar from chemical engineering, who's representing the head of chemical. I saw Professor Qureshi. So anyway, Qureshi comes in. Then we have Dr. Bansal there from IME. Yeah, I mean, then TM Dixit sir is here from mechanical. At mechanical. So basically, these are the people, and I don't miss anybody else. Of course, since. Okay, now I'm not the head. No, he's not the head, but I think I'll request you to just take over. Well, certainly. So, batch month. Okay. So, Mukesh Sharma is in the Department of Civil Engineering, and he's also from Environmental Engineering. So, in fact, the way this it's organized is that we have an interdisciplinary program in Environmental Engineering and Management, and the ex-officio, the head of the EM program, the Environmental Engineering program, he's the head of civil engineering. You know who we are paying your money to? So that's what we have there. So what we do is request just briefly see what's going on in the department, especially what has been developed in the last couple of years, special facilities, which you would like everyone to visit sometime. We will be here till tomorrow, basically the whole day. Engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, industrial management engineering, material science and engineering, which is the new avatar of metallurgical engineering, and mechanical engineering. Then we have the science programs, chemistry, mathematics and statistics, physics. Then we have interdisciplinary programs. But all of them have an MTech degree, so they all have a graduate. Laser technology, there is a Master of Design program, a material science program, and a nuclear engineering and technology program. In fact, there is a nuclear engineering and technology program, an interdisciplinary program in that. So, in fact, I missed Professor Dixit when I was introducing him. I told him just he's the head of mechanical, but he's actually wearing these two hats. So, these are the departments that we have on campus now. I guess can you just briefly talk about
okay.
Batch, please.
Presently, I am the head of the department. Just to give you a brief, we are about 18.5. 0.5 is shared between mechanical and faculty. That is the current strength of our department. And in terms of the development, definitely I would say JEE entry. And these students are actually sought after by the outside companies. And why to go for now?
What is the stage of industry?
Industry, HAL has grown very fast, and of course our space program is there. Then if you ask about these are all government schools. But today we have some of the like GE, Airbus, Boeing, Bell helicopters, they all have set up some offices in India. But the type of work they do is these areas are the ones which our students first prefer because it is in the core area. Next comes the software, that is non-core. So the core area, I was mentioning about the dual degree students. They are absorbed very first because all of them get jobs. Now that program has become quite popular in the campus because they say that by staying 1 year, I do a thesis, I get a master's degree. It is like a dual degree. You get a BTech and you get a master's. And they are sort of from aerospace. Whereas the 2-year MTech students, they normally go for, I would say, even statistics, I would say, mainly placement. But we know which company is government. You have HAL, then DRDL, ISRO, these are the major.
We are around 30. Postgraduate program and master's program is divided in 3 broad streams. One is manufacturing, one is food and thermal sciences, and one is solid mechanics. So manufacturing, in food and thermal, we also have traditional areas like IC engine, turbines, but we are also doing experiments at the nano level in food and heat transfer, heat pipes, and then solid mechanics and design, we have characterization of polymers, composites, their fracture, then nonlinear vibrations, fluid-induced vibrations, and then biomaterials and biomechanics, and computational methods like finite element method optimizations. So that is the brief summary. Our student nowadays, what happens mostly, they do well. Quite a few, they go for MBA and go for management jobs, or they even join like Goldman Sachs or banks. So about only 1/3 or less than that go for engineering jobs like in Tata Motors, Maruti, or NTPC National Power Corporation.
Hi, I'm Meena Bansal, and it's a pleasure and honor to be standing here representing my department, which didn't exist when you were here. So Industrial and Management Engineering got created in 1972. Right now we have 3 programs. By the way, I'm also an alumnus of this institute. I got PhD from CS department in 1999. So I'm one of you that way. Right. So, and I'm almost permanent acting head of the department. I'll head transition and make it official. Anyway, so we have master's program in management, and we have MBA, Masters in Business Administration. 45 seats in Masters in Industrial and Management Engineering. That's like MTech. So we have MTech and MBA, and we have about 25 PhD students. We have lots and lots of collaboration across the globe. We are helping some of the institutes in less developed countries than us to come up with master's program, and we are helping them develop, go there, teach like Iran, Ethiopia, on the infrastructure that we have in the institute, that is technology. So we are working very hard to create a niche for ourselves into innovation, entrepreneurship and innovation, and infrastructure and services. So that is what we have been successful so far, maybe not, but that's the aim, that's the objective. And we just got a brand new building, so you're all welcome to visit the building after you're done with these scheduled meetings. We'll wait for you.
A chap called Tapan Bagchi.
No, it was the founding director was, as far as I know, was Dr. J.L. Batra.
Yeah, but J.L. Batra was with mechanical, and then he moved. He did not really start it because the management portion came when Tapan Bagchi, who happens to be our batchmate.
Okay, so you mean to say MBA program?
Yeah.
Well, one single individual. Because I
Because
was
J.L.
part
Batra
of,
passed away a long time back, around
that
6
was
years
later.
back.
That was later.
Yeah.
That was later. So now I'm not saying, I said 1972 was the department. MBA program started in 2002.
I think we got your message.
Okay.
Was what was once metallurgical. Now the word metallurgy has been dropped out. It's called Department of Material Science and Engineering. And the type of, let me just give you some idea about the work that is going on in the department. So started working in specialized, ultra high frequency. That was one of the research areas. Then you also have work going on in electronic. Then a lot of work is going on in biomaterials. We have quite a strong now representation in biomaterials. Last 6 months, very young department,
CEO of Nectar Therapeutics in California. He has established an endowment fund, and this fund supports faculty chair. It's called Joy Chair for young faculty members below 45 years, and then it also supports some of the meritorious students at the undergraduate level, and then we also have a lecture series. Arvindana's Air Goes Bio Entrepreneurship Lecture Series, and every year we arrange at least one person from industry who comes to the department and delivers this lecture. And I would like to welcome all of you, and please let me know what time will be convenient for you. I will make an arrangement. And you can see, in fact, some of the faculty members work on the so-called model organisms. In fact, many of us work on project related to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, neurodegenerative disease, and then targeted drug delivery, where you try to deliver the drug at the site of the disease. So I will be happy to show the lab, and I'd like to get your support for the next department. If you have any questions.
Do you have a collaboration with material science?
Yes, in fact, some of our students, so the course Professor Bandel mentioned, our students attend their courses.
So quickly, our department is, we have faculty strength is about 20-21. We have a couple of new fellows joining as we speak, and quite a few senior people who may be seniors or just junior to you, like Professor J.P. Gupta, Professor Santosh Gupta, they just retired. So there's a lot of flux going on in our department. The department traditionally focuses on areas such as reaction engineering, process control, and so on. But in the last 10 years, we have a lot of new development in nanoscience and bioengineering and process intensification. We receive a lot of industrial funds from Chevron, Jubilee, and many other Indian industries such as Gas Authority of India. So when you come to the academic area, when you come to the northern lab where you might have done, some of you might have done your undergraduate labs, just next to that building is the new nanoscience building where there's a lot of characterization tools and synthesis tools for nanomaterials. And we have about 80 to 85 undergraduate students per batch, 30 to 35 masters, MTech students per batch, and we have about 85 plus PhD students across all the years. And many of our PhD students are now faculty members in all the other IITs in the country, and some of them have gone abroad to become faculty members. So there's a strong emphasis on research, and our department.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'm happy to be standing between you because funding, there is only one funding which is given to our department is from your batch, Dr. Davis, that has given us funds in 2005, due to which we are able to call one person from the industry every year and arrange a seminar. So that is endowment money that support us. The department is, as I have seen in the last 22 years, I've been here. Faculty-wise, strength remains pretty much the same. 30, 31, 32. We add people, but we lose people, so that way the remains static, and the best efforts have not been able to really increase it to 35 or 40 type of thing. Of course, a few years ago there was an embargo from the top that not many people could be hired, but now hire as many as we want. But it's still difficult in the present times, with new IITs coming up to hire new people. We have about 110 students.
Engineering at IIT Kanpur and graduated from here in 1981. As a secretary of the United Nations, it's a privilege to welcome you all back to this campus. Professor Manna, Director, Medina Resource Planning, Professor Ajwal, seniors, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a pleasure to see you here at this reunion, and we'll get started with this formal function. And at the outset, I would like to invite the dignitaries to take their seat of the dais. Let me first invite the Director, Professor Manna, to please come. I request Sri Shashi Singhania of the class please come. He has been such a support and has almost become a part of the association. In fact, he is part of the association. He is Vice President of the association and has a dual role in terms of being the batch coordinator, so I welcome him here. I would now request Professor Manindra Agarwal, the Dean of Planning and Resource Generation, to join us. He's also very closely associated with the Alumni Association and the alumni relations and so on, interface between the association and the institute. Thanks, Mani, for coming. And I have the privilege also to invite Sri Devin Shukla. Please join us. Distinguished Alumni Awardee for the Institute. It's a pleasure and a privilege to welcome you, sir, here on the dais. Thank you, gentlemen. We would begin the proceedings by lighting the lamp in the traditional Indian way.
This one is the stop. Naresh Kumar Bhatia, Rajesh Kumar, Ramesh Chandra Arora, Sridhar, and Sharad Agarwal. This is the list that I have, and I would request everyone to rise and also As a young teacher involved in teaching some core courses like TA 101, and as a student counselor for some of you, I carry a very warm and fond memories of those days. I'm hoping that the IT faculty would appreciate the true bond that existed between the teacher and students within and outside the classroom, a part of teaching and the learning experiences. Evan and Christian. So that's the message that I have from the chairman. And with that, I would like to invite the director, Professor Manna, to welcome.
Distinguished alumni of the 1962 batch and family members accompanying you all. At the outset, I wish to accord a very warm welcome to all of you. For any institution, the alumni actually constitute they are the biggest well-wishers and goodwill ambassadors. So if an institute requires some sort of a certificate, each one of you is one such certificate. So obviously, we are absolutely honored to have you back amongst us after sort of maybe 45 years. I am not aware if any one of you have spent time in between, but quite likely that some of you actually came and spent some time with us in between. And we actually want that should happen more often. Now, I must also confess that I'm fairly new to the system as a part of the faculty and administration. I just joined a couple of weeks back. Though I had a connection with IT Kanpur, I'm very proud of that. I did my master's way back in 83, 84 in metallurgical engineering at that point of time. And since then, I've served in an industry for a while and then taught at IIT Kharagpur for 25 years and then headed a national laboratory in Calcutta for the last 3 years. So when I was invited to join this institute as the head of the administration, certainly I felt most privileged and honored. And after coming over here, or even before I stepped in, I started thinking myself that what is that I can do which can make a difference. And one of the first few jobs that I've started doing, or given myself, is to visit the departments, academic departments, and make an effort to get to know the faculty members, their specializations, their achievements, strengths and weaknesses of the departments. And that's how I feel I would get a fair picture about the system. And while doing that, one thing which I never miss to remind everyone of my colleagues is that no mediocre ever enters IIT Kanpur, either as a faculty or a student. Somebody must have been not just good, but excellent at some point of time to be able to enter into the faculty or student community of IIT Kanpur. When I was a student 30 years ago, IIT Kanpur used to be the first stop for any engineering student. If we are honest, we possibly will not hesitate to admit that the situation has changed over the years. Not only that we have competitors, but we might have also slipped down the line somewhere. So one of my first job, like we say in case of research, that a problem defined is half the problem done. So one of my first job is to make everyone aware that we should pull up our socks and do something to regain our position. And while trying to do that, the alumni certainly can play a very big role. And I was very glad to learn from Professor Agarwal that the alumni group of IIT Kanpur is really active in not only supporting but even in criticizing. and we welcome that. Any amount of criticism coming from the alumni is certainly a useful input for the growth of the institution, for the simple reason that every alumnus feels that I have a stake, I have a right, so why my voice should be heard. So obviously it's going to make a lot of difficulty for the dean of PG, but nevertheless many good suggestions come, and many of these suggestions are actually backed with very good proposals, even with large financial support. And if we look at the best institutions in the US, we are all aware how positive a role the alumni played in those institutions. And in India, I think IIT Kanpur can certainly be a trendsetter in that. Now, in this institute, if you go around during the last few days, whatever I have understood is that, like any other place in the country, we do have issues, we do have problems that needs to be addressed immediately. But none of these are insurmountable. Few of the major problems that we confront every other day is shortage of good faculty, quality manpower as faculty, aging infrastructure, including buildings and equipment, lack of good student input. Now you'll be all surprised that how come in IIT system we are talking about quality of students. But that also is a concern these days. But for that, you know, the system, prevailing system is possibly more to be blamed than any individuality. We have started reviewing our status. One single index, if I mention, you'll realize what I'm talking about. Today I visited Civil Engineering Department. There are 7 major specializations that this department supports. One of them actually is not truly under civil engineering, should not be truly under civil engineering, should be a completely different science department. But historically, that's how it is in Kanpur. And this department has 7 different laboratory locations. Majority of the faculty members don't sit there because there is no sitting space there. If I also mention another issue, you'll realize that why we need to take a fresh look. You all would very fondly recollect the long corridors that you used to walk through and some of those, the tall buildings here and there. If you take a closer look, you might feel that they need a little bit of touching up, refurbishment. They are not worn out, they are not falling apart, but they are not also looking very bright and very attractive. Side by side, you'll find a few new buildings. Some of these buildings actually look very recent and fairly elegant. Compared to that, the old faculty building, the corridors, you have 2 kinds of structural components there. Basically, long slabs, cast concrete slabs, and walls. And you cannot change them overnight. Even if you paint, they are not going to last more than 2 or 3 years because the huge thermal cycle this part of the country experiences during the daytime in summer and also between winter and summer. So when this particular campus was created 53 years ago or even earlier, at that point of time, I'm told this model is taught in architecture. This very campus is an example in architecture classes because of certain novelty in design. But I'm sure if you look around, you'll never find a university where even a single department has very different locations of laboratories. Faculty do not have offices close by, students sit somewhere else and so on. Today you cannot connect them. They are of course a few paces away, but for maintenance, for coordination, for the students to be in touch with each other, this is not the right thing. But you can't change it overnight. So out of curiosity, I called the architect of this place and I had a very intimate talk with him, and he also understands. He tells me that his father had a very different vision with which he created this, and he's aware that some of these things talk about the recent achievements which should make all of you proud. Maybe you are already aware of some of them, but then I would rather refrain from trying to do that because I am not fully sort of informed at the moment. So I would let my colleagues, some of the deans do that, and I'm sure you certainly are looking forward to listening to them about recent activities, the current status, and more importantly, some of the visions that we would like to pursue in the near future. But I, for one, would like to pay equal attention to those presentations by my colleagues from deans, as well as your own views. I think reunion of a batch, particularly after, say, the Golden Reunion, is a time for recollection, and obviously there will be a lot of comparisons. And for every student, his teacher cannot be, there cannot be any other teacher who can be better than the teacher he had during his time. So I'm sure you would like to discuss among yourselves and say that not only that there used to be a building, there used to be a room or somebody there, he's no longer sitting there, but they have done something here, I think that's awful. So that kind of fond recollections. And at the same time, I'm sure since all of you have made extremely good in your career in different parts of the country and outside the country, so we certainly can derive a lot of benefit from your experiences, from your views and vision. And that's exactly what I personally would like to collect from you and through your interactions with you. So as Mr. Mishra mentioned, if there are lapses, I tender apology on behalf of the Institute, but it is your institute, so obviously you may complain 100 times within the campus, but not outside. So please do maintain contacts with us, and please do come back. I'm really happy that many of you have come with your family members, and I think some of you probably have little more time now to give to the Institute than what you could maybe 20 years ago. So this is the right time for you to come back and spend more time with us and give us encouragement. Also criticize us if you feel that we are failing in some parts, and we'll certainly try to make it happen. So I wish your stay would be very enjoyable, very memorable, and I hope you'll go back home with even more fond memories of this place. And it is our duty to assure you that the Institute is at right hands. Thank you very much.